Hi guys, it's Celeste. Wait. Does that work? Don't fall. Like, try really hard to manifest, like, not falling. Like, not making the camera fall. Anyway, I'm just eating, like, this like, microwave egg sausage potato thing. But I have thoughts. I have never, ever, ever cared about the concept of, like, celebrities or influencers, like, signing things, like, giving their autograph, right? I've never cared about that. I've never noticed, ew. It's not gross, it's just, you know when meat is, like, too red? Like, that was, like, bacon. I still ate it, but it was, like, giving blood red a little bit too much. Something scares me about food being red, and it has my entire life. Like, I'm not gonna, like, not eat something because it's red now, but, like, there have been times when, like, I would be a little bit too scared about, like, food being red. Even though I know, say hypothetically, like, a chef somewhere accidentally, like, cut their finger, right? That's, like, the main fear, even though I was literally, like, 5 the first time I was ever, like, terrified of that concept, right? But I know that even if they had done that, by the time the food's cooked, basically the color would have probably, like, cooked out of the food, is what I believe now. I believe that the color would cook out of the food, essentially. Kind of like how if people cook with, like, spirits, like, the alcohol cooks out of the food. That's kind of what I think, but I know that, like, I think illnesses can probably still be, like, transferred, right? So that's always been, like, a mental fear of mine, because I've always been like, oh no, this food is red, even though I know that if it's cooked, the color would be what cooks out, probably not the transfer of, like, illnesses, but I don't know. But what I'm saying, though, is that that's how much my brain got, like, I don't even know. That's how much my brain decided that, like, it made sense that that would happen, even though it's never been something that I've, like, been aware of. But, like, my brain, like, notices everything that's red, because that is how much I was, like, scared for no reason. And I don't even know where it came from. I don't even know where that came from. My brain always was like, oh no, something is red. Like, that doesn't even mean anything. Like, I was like, oh no, there's something red. Anyway, what I do think is so odd, right? I've never cared, never made a mental note, never recorded in my brain the fact that, like, yeah, celebrities, like, sign stuff, there's, like, an autograph on a paper, like, nobody cares, right? It's never been something anybody cared about, I don't think. The only thing I would think if somebody asked me to sign something, imagine if someday I were, like, known by anybody, right? I would be like, okay, like, maybe it's, like, about love. Like, it's not about, like, anything. Like, it's literally just, but it's, like, so insignificant that it wouldn't be significant to me, because I know that it's not significant to the other person. Does that make sense? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, everybody loves me so much they would want my signature if I were famous. Like, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're literally famous. I mean, I'm not, but, like, I think it wouldn't matter. If you're literally famous, you shouldn't think that other people are gonna, like, die over your signature. Because all that proves that you were able to do was that you could hold a pen and sign your own name at the same time. So if you're, like, thinking people are gonna worship you over that, you proved your ability to hold a pen and to spell your own name, to know what your own name looks like on paper, to be able to recreate that more than once, to physically hand the paper to somebody else. Like, if you think you're being worshipped over that, then you're basically, a part of you is, like, dying, and you need to fix it, because you should not be overly, like, everyone's amazing. I mean, yeah, you should think of everyone's amazing. I accidentally said that. What I mean is, like, you shouldn't think that other people are going to think that you're more amazing than you are. Does that make sense? If you're actually just physically signing a paper. Like, you can love yourself. You should. I'm not saying don't love yourself, but I'm saying, like, if you think that there's so much importance, but it's also weird. There's the whole paradox of like people being like, oh, did they sign this themselves, whatever. Like, I don't know, none of it matters. What I do find funny, because none of that matters to me, I can tell like a difference in the collective energy a little bit. I don't know, there's so many weirdos out there. There was some video somewhere that I might have like scrolled past or something where Christina Aguilera was saying that she, like, her name was changed, like, by her managers, by her record label. Like, that's why she changed her name, was because, like, it was, like, too long. Because the person who was writing her autograph said it was too long, because that person wrote her autograph, like, thousands of times in a day. So it's like, why are you buying or receiving or even interested in a piece of paper that has someone else's autograph in it when they didn't write it themselves? And it doesn't even matter if they wrote it themselves, because at the end of the day, like, that person probably doesn't care. Or they think you care more than you actually do, which is also weird. Because then they're assuming that you care more about them than you care about yourself if they think you care. Or they're not signing it themselves because they're just paying somebody else to do it. In which case, you're buying, like, a photo of them that you could have printed out online. Right? You could have printed that out. You could have printed that out on your, like, computer or whatever, like your printer. You could have printed that out. You could have printed out a better photo of that person if you're that obsessed, but then you're gonna look like a serial killer because you're printing out a photo of somebody else. So if you buy a photo of that person from themselves, but like their name was actually changed by somebody else because somebody else wrote their signature, now their name is permanently different because like, I don't know, I think people are like not mentally okay. I think people are crazy. I don't think anyone's normal. Because what do you mean? You wanted to like... Okay, here's the deal. If Christina Aguilera met me, if I met her, first of all, I would not even know it was her. I think she's like pretty, so I would have been like, okay, like that lady is like pretty, whatever. That I wouldn't be like anything, you know? I'd be like, okay, I guess that lady's like pretty. Like, I would notice that because I can notice like people's beauty, whatever, like. But what I'm actually saying though is like, if I met that person, I think it's funny because I could totally imagine her handing me a photo of herself with her name written on it, but it was written by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I would just throw it away. Like, I wouldn't even care. Like, I would literally throw it away. So, I don't know. I feel like that's somebody with a lot of, like, fake self-importance that is, like, made to be, like, super flashy, but then everybody just throws away the paper that they're handed. So, what do you mean you're going to let somebody change your name? Because, like, for that purpose? You're gonna let, like, it doesn't make any sense. It's pointless. What do you mean you're gonna let somebody change your name so that it's easier for them to create, like, little drawings of your name that are going to be thrown out immediately as soon as they're handed to other people? Imagine letting your life revolve around, like, somebody else telling you that you should change your name and you being like, yes. Like, I don't know. Not just that. That has nothing to do with, like, the plot of the story. I just don't care about celebrities. They just... I mean, one or two, I'll be like, okay, like, there are a few things I like about you. And then everybody else, I'm like, but you have this issue, this weird thing about you, this thing you think people care about that nobody cares about. Like, you have this, you have that, you did this one thing that nobody should do. Like, you're actually a weirdo. Even though I never met you, I can already tell you're actually a weirdo. So... what I then wanted to come back to was like, never have I ever like thought about people like giving autographs, but I almost feel like I mentally notice people who do overly care about that, not because they're like as important as they think they are, because I'm just like, this is like cognitive dissonance with that person because they think everybody's obsessed with their own signature. And I bet they couldn't tell you why. If you ask them, oh, like, so, you know, I see that you believe everybody like loves your signature. That's great. Like, why do you think they love it so much? Like, what do you think is the reason why they love it? Not why do you think somebody would love you? Because then they're gonna take that and like shut down. But if you're like, well, why do you think that it is that people do love you? And then they can't even come up with like, you know, like, why do people love their signature? Because nobody does. You know? Anyway. The reason I bring this up is because every time I scroll, I see some influencer signing something now. Like, it was never a thing. I mean, I know, like, signed portraits were a thing, but it's weird to, like, scroll, and every time I scroll, somebody is signing something. And I'm just like, do they know that nobody cares? Has it clicked yet that nobody cares? Have they realized that nobody cares? Have they realized? Have they realized? Have they realized ever? They might have never realized that nobody cares. But imagine changing your name over something that nobody cares about. You don't need to change your name over something nobody cares about. Do it for you, or maybe like be a normal person a little bit. Like, anyway, these people are really stupid. They don't know it. Not you though, you're all right. Anyway, I love you. Bye.